Now, this section deals with the adipocere formation. It is also a part of the post-mortem decomposition that is taking place, the late changes after 24 hours that we are discussing right now. The adipocere formation is a varied form of putrefaction, basically. It happens in a moist and a humid environment. It's basically the conversion of the unsaturated fat to the saturated fat by the bacterial splitting. Now, what we'll be discussing over here is the formation, the appearance of the adipocere, and the medico-legal importance of the adipocere formation. Now, the adipocere, what is the definition to the adipocere formation? A chemical change in the body fat which is hydrolyzed to a waxy compound not unlike soap. This is a complete definition to the adipocere. It gives basically a physical importance which happens to the dead body. And it's basically the waxy, the greasy appearance that is present on the dead bodies. That is the physical appearance of this adipocere. And we'll be discussing it in detail. How does it forms? The adipocere formation. The complete adipocere formation takes place in low water temperatures, the acidic water environment due to confinement of the corpse. Corpse is basically the dead body. So that will contribute towards the complete adipocere formation. The anoxic conditions are very important and they are the predisposing factors to the formation of the adipocere formation. The absence of the water flow. If we have flowing water, that will retard the formation of the adipocere. The incomplete degradation basically contributes in the anoxic condition contributes to the complete adipocere formation, and the absence of the fish in the flowing water contributes to the adipocere formation. Now, long time is required for the adipocere formation and prevents scavenging of the corpse. Now, scavengers are the mainstay to all of these decomposition stages. If the scavengers are present, we can never rule out if the adipocere was formed or not, whether the mummification was done or not, whether the putrefaction process is going or not. So the presence of scavengers, it can be anything. It can be vultures, it can be larval infestations, it can be any rodents that can scavenge onto the corpse of a dead person. So all of these factors in the environment contribute towards the adipocere formation. Now, the appearance is greasy, waxy, yellowish, and as seen in this picture, the tissues are greasy and waxy, later brittle and chalky white, pinkish, greenish, or grayish. These are the different hues that can be given to this adipocere. It requires moisture, usually wet soil or water. Usually warmth and alcoholic pH is required for the appearance of the adipocere. Now, the adipocere starts forming after about approximately 3 months of the death. Now, the adipocere formation. At the early stage, there is a pale, rancid, greasy, semi-fluid material with a most unpleasant smell. That basically goes on to the second stage. The hydrolysis progresses and the adipocere becomes more brittle and whiter in appearance. And finally, what happens in the physical appearance of the adipocere, it is fully formed, gray, firm, and waxy compound that maintains the shape of the body. Now, the importance of the adipocere formation. Why is it basically medico-legally important? It preserves the body, which can permit identification after death. I was telling you, in the final stage, it gives a shape to the body. So that will basically preserve the body, in other words. That's a nature's way to preserve body. It may give conclusions about the cause of death. It indicates that the time interval since death was at least weeks to several months, because it starts after 3 months. So that is basically, we can calculate the time since death through this. And the cause of death, basically the environment in which the person was killed, whether he was drowned, whether he was killed in a moist environment, in a swampy environment, that will conclude towards these points. So in this section, basically, we dealt with the adipocere formation. Adipocere is basically a varied form of putrefaction. We have to keep that in mind. It is medico-legally very important. Solving cases, when there is a formation of adipocere, it always points towards the killing of a person in a moist environment, whether he was drowned, and it indicates the time since death. So we have to calculate all of these things in our mind, and we have to keep them in our mind. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching sqadia.com.